This is Chapter 2 of Jazz Soloing Basics for Guitar, Arpeggios. Now this is another long list of shapes to get under our fingers. It's not the most exciting thing, but we need to learn them. If you already know your arpeggios, you can just review what's in this chapter and focus on the shapes that I prioritize here, which are a smaller 4-note group. You may have practiced arpeggios across all 6 strings before. But I want to use just 4 notes at a time, and usually they'll be in the middle or the upper part of the guitar. So first, we're going to go through pattern 4 of 5 arpeggio qualities in G. We have the degree numbers, and we're going to take root, 3rd, 5th, and 7th on the top 4 strings, and that just forms a diagonal in 2nd position. Now, that's a major 7 arpeggio. It goes along with the chord type. And then we're going to sequentially change 1 note at a time to get all the other qualities. So to get from major 7 to dominant 7, we just diminish the 7th by a half step. That's F. Obviously, it's not very comfortable to play that on the string that it's on, so we're going to move the F over to the 6th fret. Okay, that's dominant 7, and we did that by changing major 7 to minor 7 on top of our major triad, 1, 3, 5. On the next page, we diminish the major 3rd to a minor 3rd. That's B flat instead of B natural, and keep the other notes the same, and now we have G minor 7. Okay, the next one is G minor 7 flat 5, and for that we're going to diminish the 5th to D flat, and it turns out to be a little more convenient to play that on the 3rd string. And you'll notice I'm reaching up with my ring finger for that note, playing the F still with the pinky on the 6th fret of string 2. Finally, we have the complete fully diminished 7th arpeggio of G, and that is with F flat on the 5th fret of string 2. And we're calling that F flat. It's enharmonic with the major 6th E. Kind of an interesting bit of trivia. If we were playing this on a non-tempered instrument like a viola or a cello, F flat and E natural are not exactly the same notes, but on a tempered instrument like a guitar, they are. So that's root, minor 3rd, diminished 5th, diminished 7th. Okay, now we want to expand those 5 types to cover the entire fingerboard, 1 for each pattern of the cage system, and we're going to do that on page 14. Let me move over. I would like to start by going down each column so that we repeat the process we just went through, playing through all 5 qualities on the same position and then moving to a different one. So we're going to go down the left-hand column on page 14, and these can be in any key, obviously. You just place the 1 where you want your root, and we're going to do it in D so that we can fit them all in order on the neck without any open strings and without running out of space or shifting positions, string sets, let's put it that way. So here's D major 7 with the pinky on D, 5th fret of string 5. Now let's go down to D dominant 7. The third row we have D minor 7, minor 3rd, perfect 5th, minor 7th. Now for minor 7 flat 5, I'm going to shift up and play that with my ring finger on the root. And for the last row, diminished, I could play the C flat on the 4th fret of string 3, or I could move up and play no, that's right, that's what I got. Never mind. Now let's go back and do all of that in pattern 2. We had D major 7 down here. Now we're going to play in pattern 2, 5th position. Start with your 2nd finger, okay? And all of these, you'll have to, eventually, over time, you will learn to pick out which arpeggio shape to use depending on which finger you happen to start with. So this is a whole lot of information, and that's one reason why I'm breaking it down into small shapes like this. So here's pattern 2, D major 7. 5th fret, 4th fret, 7th fret, 6th fret. Now we're going to make that dominant by using a minor 7th on the top. For minor 7, put your 1st finger on the root. Minor 3rd, perfect 5th, minor 7th. Row 4, minor 7 flat 5. And then finally the diminished. I'm shifting up in the middle of that one, although you could also reach back for the C flat on fret 4 of string 3. Let's go to pattern 3. Play a D major 7 in pattern 3, and that's a bar on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings of the 7th fret. And we got a major 7 on the top here. And we'll arpeggiate that from the root. 3rd string, 7th fret, major 3rd, 5th, and 7th, like that. Make it dominant by flatting the 7th, 1, 3, 5, 7. Make it minor by flatting the 3rd, and that's going to be on the 10th fret of string 3. So we'll have, this is a little harder. I'm using my ring and pinky finger on fret 10, and then the 8th fret of string 1. There's more than one way to do that. Sometimes I will copy Robin Ford and press down on my pinky finger with my ring finger, or I might just use the ring finger for both of those notes. One thing I can't really rely on is my pinky effectively connecting from one note to the next by itself. You hear how there's a tiny little hole, a glitch? Yeah, it sounds choppy if I try to do that. Maybe you can. Yeah. Overall, we want to make these arpeggios sound as legato, in other words, connected but not overlapping, as much as we can. We don't want them to sound like chords, and we don't want them to have spaces in between. So that was pattern 3 of D minor 7. So now we're going to play D minor 7 flat 5. That's the 4th row in column 2, right? Sorry, column 3. There's the root, minor 3rd, diminished 5th, minor 7th, and then finally the diminished one has C flat on the top string at 7th fret. On the pattern 2 shapes, all of them, let's go to pattern 2. There is an alternate shape for pattern 3. That's the same notes, but you just play the 5th on the 1st string. So it looks like it kind of crosses in between pattern 2 and pattern 3. But that has a stretch in it for the major 7 chord. We do want to know this because we're going to use it. It's going to be in the book. Let's play D major 7 here. 5th position, pattern 2. Root, major 3rd, perfect 5th, and then reach up for the C sharp on fret 9. Now let's make that one dominant. Same notes on the bottom. C natural on fret 8. Now we'll make it minor, so we'll play with the ring finger on the tonic. Where's that finger? Okay. Root, minor 3rd, perfect 5th, minor 7th. Minor 7 flat 5. We got a couple ways to do that. I'm going to reach back for the A flat here on fret 4 of string 1. You could also play it like this, starting with the middle finger, minor 3rd, then A flat on fret 9 of string 2. Now the diminished one, same idea, except now we have C flat on the top, minor 3rd, diminished 5th, diminished 7th. Or we could play that like this with the second finger and the A flat on fret 9 of string 2. If you started with the first finger, now you're in pattern 3. And now we're going to move up and play D major 7 in 9th position. And we already did those with G on page 12, right? Yeah. So here's D major 7, D dominant 7, starting with the 3rd finger, D minor 7, D minor 7 flat 5, and D diminished. Okay. Now I'm just going through these quickly because I don't want to make a long video, and you really need to practice these by yourself with a metronome. Do what I'm doing. Run through each one of them one time a day. Take about 20 minutes and move on, because you're not going to memorize them in one day. Okay, for pattern 5, D major 7 has the root on the 12th fret of string 4 with the second finger. Then the 3rd here on the 11th fret, and then the 14th fret on strings 3 and 2. Yeah. Now dominant. That one uses all 4 fingers. Now for minor, I'm going to shift my first finger onto the root so that the minor 3rd is on F at the 15th fret of string 4. And then here's minor 7 flat 5. It's a very important shape. Finally, we got the D diminished 7th chord in the bottom right hand corner. That's D, F natural, A flat, and then C flat on the 12th fret of string 2. So I just did the entire neck with D as the root for every chord type. If we wanted to keep going, we could continue with D major 7 in 14th position and keep going until we run out of room on the fingerboard. Another way to practice these is to change keys. I'm going to play C major 5 types, then I'm going to go to F major 5 types, then B flat major 5 types, then E flat major, and so on. Three, C major. Dominant. Minor. Minor 7 flat 5. Diminished. Now F. 4. Major. Dominant. Minor. 7 flat 5, and diminished. Now B flat, 3, 4, major, dominant, minor, minor 7 flat 5, diminished, and now E flat, major, dominant, yes, minor, minor 7 flat 5, and diminished. Let's do the higher version of this, like that, 3, 4, dominant, minor 7, minor 7 flat 5, and diminished. A flat, 3, pattern 5, dominant, minor 7, minor 7 flat 5, and diminished. Now D flat, pattern 3. Next one's G flat. You keep going like that. That's enough for now. It's a lot to work on. You want to be patient. Don't try to jam all this information into your mind in one day. It can take months, and that's fine. And we are going to see more shapes that eventually cover all the possibilities. Staying in position. I mean, there's no book that has everything. But these are the ones that we want to be able to use and have them under our fingers, ready to improvise with in the context of a line. So I want to prioritize those. And in the chapter after next, we'll have some exercises that string them together. All right. Thanks for your patience, and I guarantee the book will get more interesting soon.